I'm just going to do it later, Harry. I'm just going to... Let's roll those titles.
Do you know what you should do, which I think would be really funny?
Yeah.
Is have that little bit you've just done there, then the titles, then your introduction, then the rest of the video.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But how are you doing anyway, Graham?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah. You?
I'm a bit miffed because I've just had my lunch at 4:00, and somehow after washing up my shit, managed to fuck up my nail.
Oh man, you've got oh god,
a lot of work went into them.
I mean, I feel like ringing up Bob Geldof and asking him to throw you a concert.
Oh, I'd rather have peaches.
This week's Football Manager of the Week is the co-host, Harry Waddington Brown, because we've got no guest.
Yeah, fuck yeah,
podcasting. This is the Football Manager podcast where we podcast about Football Manager, comparing Football Manager Mobile to the full PC version. And you've been doing a little save of your own, which is cool on the mobile version. Tell us all about that.
Well, I started using the mobile version because I'm a dad, and being a dad is shit as fuck if you want to play games for long periods of times. You can't, realistically, so the mobile one's like a bit easier just to dip in and out of. Like, you don't really need 3 or 4 hours setting up like individual tactics for games. So
I only play the PC version if I've got like at least 3 days off work. Otherwise, there's just no point.
Exactly. So it's a good game, but it's much more streamlined than the PC version, and you don't really need to worry as much about the in-depth analysis of each game coming up.
And who are you in on FM Mobile? What have you gone with?
On this particular save, Bolton.
Oh yeah,
they've had a bit of a fall from grace in recent years, haven't they? So I thought I'd come with me Bielsa-style tactics and just get them pressing like crazy.
4-3-3 with the holding mid there.
Yeah, I tried to make this one a bit more difficult, though, by not spending a single penny on transfers. So all the players that are on the screen now were free transfers.
Nice.
And how I managed to get
shooting, him. 16 pace. That's outrageous.
Yeah, he's crazy. 6 goals in 8 games. The one game I didn't play him. Yep, and the one game I didn't play him, I had Nathan Delfonso up front. Yeah, he scored an own goal. So
sorry, Nathan. Sorry. Sorry,
Nathan Delfonso for being an absolute shithouse. I'm fucking fuming about it. I had like 69% possession and lost like 3-0.
Are you saying that the Football Manager beat the press?
I did insinuate it, yes.
That's why I've called it this. See, my title is completely justified.
I'll tell you what's one good thing about the new mobile version is when you start a new career, you get to pick a particular style of play that you want to specialise in. So you can
that's cool.
So you can get like counter-attacking, like balanced play. You get like tick-attacker, vertical tick-attacker. And then you get like pressing style as well. Obviously, I always go to pressing. The
gegenpress stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a little bit more in-depth, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's like your team naturally starts training around that rather than having to try bringing coaches for that kind of thing.
I feel like the next step for FM Mobile is just to have a little bit of a basic 3D engine for some of the more upmarket phones. Like if you've got a top of the line Samsung or iPhone, it could handle it pretty easily, I would think.
Well, they did try that, didn't they? They released the FM Touch, which is basically like the full FM PC game, but it's on a touchscreen device. But because it's so in depth, the icons are so small. Like I've got the Note, and even like with the stylus, I couldn't press like 90% of the icons because they were too small.
Right.
So I think it'd be great for a tablet.
It's mainly set up for a tablet, isn't it? But
yeah.
But yeah, that would be the next step. I think because they've started they've got like the cloud sharing facility. I don't know if they were doing it previously, but they've got the cloud sharing facility for FM21 because they've got the Xbox version now. And that works really well, apparently, between the PC and the Xbox. If you want to, play the full version on your PC, you can then have the streamlined version of that same game on the Xbox.
Like the same save?
The same save, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's cool. So I figure that's got to be the next logical step for the mobile version. Anyway, I've always found the mobile version a little bit too easy, if I'm honest. I mean, yes, it saves you over the course of the series in terms of how long you play the game, probably literally a week of your life. It will, in terms of hours, it will save you. It will save you could do 10 seasons in 10 days as opposed to 10 years.
Yeah, this one's a little bit harder. Like I do find like the ability to sign players a little bit too easy. Like especially if it's a free agent, like whatever you're offering, like the first offer that's like right, which you don't get in the PC version. But they have tried to make it harder, and if you try to sign any player from abroad, you're not getting them. Quite simply, you're just not going to get them. They're not going to get a work permit. It's very aggravating, especially for someone who's trying to see if they can get a Bolton back into the Premier League with only free transfers.
But that's a good challenge. I might have a look at that on the full PC version. Maybe do some videos on that. Let me know if you're interested in the comments. If I was to do a career save on Football Manager 21, upload it to YouTube, would you watch? I'm sure there's still some.
Any Bolton fans out there, all for you. Come on.
I was going to be nicer. All of the 12 Bolton fans that currently actually own the club, which they subsequently bought for 12 quid, which was £1 each. So good deal. I'd still rather just like pay an extra £2 and get a Tesco's meal deal, to be honest. Yeah. £2.70 with my discount.
Name dropping where you work there.
I hardly work, do I? I think they've made some improvements across the board, like for FM21, in terms of the gameplay and things like that, especially on the full version. But there's a lot more goal animations now, which I like. Not that my laptop could handle it at all, but there's a lot more sort of possibilities in terms of the player movement and stuff like that. Goalkeepers are still terrible. They don't know what the near post is. Those are your managerial stats, pretty good. I can see the high pressing and stuff there. So that's cool.
I've had to keep my defensive line quite low because like my players don't really have good enough stamina to do it in League One because like where the games are coming so thick and fast, they just end up absolutely knackered after each game, and I don't like having a big squad because they all want to play. So I tried to keep it like between like 20 and 22 players in my first team, like tops.
Sure. Well, I have one of the things I really like about FM21 is because the last version I played was FM18, and a lot of the things have changed since that. And one of the big focuses is things that you can do in transition. So whether you're out of possession or whether you're in possession. And how I've set it up is they've got a high defensive line, but like a low line of engagement. So when we're out of possession,
they push
up high. Yeah, they push up. So the defense is still high, pushing up high, but the midfield and the attack drop off. So everyone is in the middle of the pitch. So if a team wants to play out from the back against me, they can. If they just want to pass it amongst themselves at the back, I'm not bothered. But as soon as they come into the midfield, everyone is on them, and that's when they start pressing. Do you know
who that reminds me of?
Who?
You know who?
Don't say it.
I'm going to say it.
I'll get really upset.
Leeds!
Yeah.
But it is true.
But
it is
to be fair, Bielsa wants them pressing regardless of where they are in the pitch. Like,
oh yeah, if you stop running for 3 seconds, he throws his bucket at you.
Well, we haven't seen enough of the bucket in the Premier League this year. I'm disappointed.
It's probably because they couldn't get a sponsor for it this year.
What? Bielsa's bucket?
Yeah, last season they were sponsored by Wish, weren't they?
Is there a Twitter account for Bielsa's bucket yet?
Probably. Yeah.
Tweet us if you know.
There's a podcast like dedicated to Marcelo Bielsa, like from Leeds fans, called Bielsa's Bible.
Oh, okay. If anyone from Bielsa's Bible is listening or watching, please tweet us at Beat the Press FM. Let us know if there's a Twitter account for Bielsa's bucket. Right, that was Football Manager of the Week. Thank you very much.
Football Manager of the Week.
If anyone else has got some opinions on comparisons between the full PC version and the mobile version, let us know in the comments or tweet us again as well. Now, obviously, moving on to Saturday's fixtures for this weekend. Leicester, Liverpool, Brighton, Villa, Palace, Burnley, Man City, Spurs. Going to feature Man City Spurs as the main game of this weekend, simply because of the form City are in, and by opposite, the form of Spurs. And I think that Mourinho could be in quite a bit of trouble if he doesn't get a result this week.
The start of the season, I could not see anyone else but Liverpool winning the league. I just thought they looked too strong. And don't get me wrong, they've had like quite bad injuries coming through.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
A lot of teams in the Premier League have, and I genuinely feel like without crowds there, they're really struggling. Because we kind of noticed that the end of last season when they won the league, they had a bit of a drop off in form and dominance when the crowds wasn't allowed in.
Yeah, and the things with Liverpool at the moment, 3 home defeats on the bounce, which hasn't happened since 1963. So,
like with the way things are going right now.
To be fair, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, all the stuff we were saying a couple of weeks ago about how good Southampton were, and then literally a day after we recorded it, they lose 9-0.
Yeah, it's a good job that that podcast never came to fruition, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. We are good pundits, but that's where the comedy comes from, because we're rubbish. The whole point of this podcast is to see whether Football Manager, the game engine in Football Manager, could predict or how it accurately Football Manager can predict the outcome of a season. And we sort of give our predictions for each Saturday's games, and as well as Football Manager, and then sort of compare that to the real life results. So we'll just jump straight in with this. Leicester, Liverpool. What do you think?
I think 3-0 Liverpool, because I have seen teams that press the way Liverpool do really well against Leicester this season. They used to be like where they used to be able to soak up that pressure and then counter. They seem to have lost that a little bit. They don't seem to be as dangerous on the counter. Like, I know they can still be right in front of you, like 6-yard box within 2 passes. But like in terms of soaking it up, they don't seem to be able to soak that pressure up as much as they used to. So they have to play a bit more now. So they're still a dangerous team, but they're not as dangerous in that sense. So I personally think 3-0 Liverpool. I
mean, my head is saying that Liverpool are done with their bad results, so they will turn it around now against Leicester. But I can just see. I don't know. I just think that Leicester will do it. I think if everyone's fit, if Johnny Evans and Soyuncu and Fofana are all fit at the back, is crucial for them. James Justin's been really good as well. So I think that back line with Pereira coming back now as well is big for them. So I'm going to go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester. So I think 2-1 Leicester. You think 3-0 Liverpool. for Saturday. What does Football Manager think? I've got. So first goal is Naby Keita, who I don't even think is fit, but there you go. 67 minutes. Not a lot happened in the first half, and then Bobby Firmino with the second coming up now. Knocked down by Mane. That's on the half volley.
That's quite a good Firmino style goal.
And there you go. That's the formation and the stats. XG much higher.
Vardy had a mare, didn't he?
Yeah, 5.9. So there you go. But he plays. He's got a good record against Liverpool. So I'm wondering whether Football Manager got that one wrong. Or
he may well have done, because he is brilliant against any team that presses, because he's going to have more pace than your centre backs, and he will peel away from them. He is essentially what Michael Owen would have been if he wasn't made out of Quavers.
Yeah. Football Manager Game Engine thinks Liverpool will get the win on Saturday, 2-0. So one actually in the game was really close. I'm gonna start with this first, just because it was interesting. So a couple of Ollie Watkins missed an absolute sitter early on.
And 2 yards out.
Which isn't like him because he's fine. And then the corner directly after this, Tyrone Mings again 2 yards out and heads over somehow. And then this happens. It was just Ezri Konsa own goal, just crazy. I'm not really even sure what happened. I've watched this like 5 times. I'm still not really sure what happened here. But they worked the ball out wide. It's a dangerous ball in, to be fair. It's right in that area. And he tries to clear it, and it comes off of Konsa. And then there was a goal disallowed for offside for Villa. It was Watkins offside in the build-up. And then only just, is really close, to be fair, tries to lay it off to Grealish, who finishes it. And then this was given as a penalty, which I think is a corner all day. I think he won the ball there. Who was it? Trezeguet dived. It even says it in the little game commentary. It says, surely Trezeguet dived there. So even in Football Manager, VAR is making mistakes. I would imagine Mike Dean was refereeing that one.
It's very much like Football Manager to put in VAR mistakes. Because before VAR, you would have clear offside chances being scored against you. And even though it made you rage, it gave you that sense of realism.
So, Football Manager, if we use that as a way of predicting the result on Saturday, thinks it'll be 1-1 Brighton Villa, which, given a few decent results Brighton had, probably not a bad shout. What do you think?
I think Villa will take it. I reckon 2-1 Villa. I think Brighton set up very well. In terms of what they do it well. But I don't think they've got that creative ability and the ability to create as many chances as Villa. So as long as Villa can keep creating the chances and stick a few of them away, I can't see Brighton being able to compete.
Ollie Watkins went a few games without a goal until, was it the Arsenal match? Yeah, it was, when he scored after 2 minutes. And now he's got 3 in his last 4. And unlike that clip in the Football Manager simulation, I can't see him missing a clear-cut chance like that from 2 yards out. So I'm probably going to go for a Villa win as well. I think 2-1. I think Brighton will score because they're just gelling at the right time. So I think I'm going to go 2-1 again, but Villa away win.
I'm in agreement.
Cool. Palace Burnley is the next one. This, in terms of Football Manager's predictions for Saturday's result, I think was very accurate. Not a lot happened here. I thought this was offside to begin with, but when you see the line,
it's a good looping run.
The game's actually got this spot on in terms of he's bang on level. Which, to be fair, in real life that would have been given offside because his toe was a little bit far forward.
His bootlace was undone.
And that was really the only action, genuinely. 11 minutes in, that was the only real highlight. It didn't even show, for whatever reason, the fact that Ben Mee got sent off after 19 minutes, but they still managed to grind out the result, which is...
Do you know what? I'm very much in agreement. I watched, was it Crystal Palace Wolves the other day?
Yes.
Yeah, and honestly, that was the most boring game I've ever watched. And I can't see this one being much different because you've got a team that rely on set pieces and a team that rely on countering, so they're both very defensively based teams. And when you get teams like that come together, it's just like, I'm going to kick the ball to you, you kick it to me. And it's literally just like, it's a really shit game of tennis. So I can't see that being any different. I think Burnley, like you give Burnley two or three chances, they're going to stick one away. Do you know what I mean? So...
Yeah, they can be. They are quite clinical because they don't
get many chances.
Yeah. So you're going to go for Burnley win?
Yeah.
What, 1-0?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll agree with Football Manager.
I'm going to go score draw. I'm going to go 1-1. I think there isn't enough to separate them, but I do think they'll both score.
I either reckon it'll be 1-0 or 0-0. I think it's going to be a fucking dull game. It's a bit like watching a Mourinho side watching Burnley. Apart from Sean Dyche sounds like he smokes like 80 a day.
Yeah. And you could argue at the moment maybe Burnley have a little bit more heart than Spurs. Sorry, Spurs fans, just saying.
Yeah.
With this one, I'm not sure what Football Manager was playing at here. So this is our feature game of the episode. So we're doing extended highlights of this match, unfortunately.
Okay, this doesn't fill me with confidence.
See, I wanted to make it look a little bit more of a proper highlights package, but not happened. Goes out for this was the first from the kickoff. This was supposedly a highlight as far as Football Manager was concerned. Boots out for another throw-in. Sweet. Cheers.
Is that Dele Alli?
Yeah, it is Dele Alli, yes.
Yeah, no, that's also like incredibly unrealistic. Mourinho's not going to play Dele Alli.
I'll show you the formations at the end when it comes up. But it's interesting because there's been a lot of debate this season as to how Dele Alli fits into the team. This is the goal, I think, or is the next one. The next highlight is the goal. I've just given it away there as well by saying this is the goal. Yeah,
it looks like such a dull game.
It was pretty dull. De Bruyne drills it in. It comes off Alderweireld. It goes in 1-0. It was 1-0. Man City, Toby Alderweireld own goal. Not a lot happened in the game at all. I don't see this as a realistic prediction of what might happen.
I don't at all. I think Tottenham are in for a real spanking.
Yeah.
A real spanking, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say 4-0 City.
So this is the... there was one really good highlight in the second half, which was a Spurs chance. There's Aguero with a shot there that just goes wide. And it was, funnily enough, it was a link-up between Kane and Son, which is pretty accurate, isn't it?
Son's like one of the best players in the Premier League right now.
He's been so good this year. He's really clinical.
I just don't think he's been utilised enough under...
So Son intercepts, lays it off to Kane, the 1-2 back to Son, but they get the tackle in. When I watched that, I was like, that is literally what they do. That is Spurs through and through. That was a well done, Football Manager. You got that right in terms of that particular highlight. But that is pretty much the best moment of the game, so I'm just going to stop it there. He didn't even get the shot away, and I consider that the best move of the game. So that tells you everything. So Football Manager have gone for 1-0 win. I agree. I think City will win, and I think they will win big.
4-0 City. And I think it's going to be the game that gets old Mourinho the boot. Someone young in, like a young, good manager. Someone like, I don't know, Eddie Howe, who was meant to get in the first place. Someone who's young, enigmatic, who wants to play a decent style of football, get them playing good football, and someone who's going to be able to build the team again. Like, look at the job he did at Bournemouth. He built them from a League Two team, realistically, to a mid-level Premier League team. What's he going to do when he's already got an established Premier League team in Tottenham, and he's got a chance? Yeah, and he's got a chance to build, and he's got all those facilities at his feet. I think he would be the perfect person for Tottenham to build with.
Arguably the two best strikers, or the best strike partnership in the league. Shall we say?
Harry Kane is without a doubt the best striker in the Premier League, and right now Son is outclassing him. So they literally, on paper, they have the two best strikers in the Premier League, and Eddie Howe likes to play 4-4-2. Could you imagine with those two at his disposal, rather than who did he have before? Josh King and Dominic Solanke.
I agree. I think City will get a big win, and I think it will be the end of Jose Mourinho. Eddie Howe's an interesting shout for the Spurs job. One thing you could say about the early Premier League campaigns of Bournemouth is that regardless, they tried to outrun everyone. In their first two seasons, they were top in the league stats for average distance covered in a game, or there or thereabouts. They weren't always top, but pretty much there all the time. So that says it all, really. You just don't really see a Spurs team doing that. Yes, they work hard in terms of trying to soak up the pressure and hit on counter, but that is literally all they do.
And with Spurs as well, they're the traditional top six. You want to see them dominating. You want to see them applying the pressure, not soaking it up. You're not Porto in the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? Like, in the league, you want to see them.
Mourinho reference there.
But yeah, in the Premier League, you want to see a team like Tottenham going gung-ho. You want to see them absolutely battering teams like Burnley. Not sitting with like 8 men behind the ball and hoping for a counter. I don't want to be seeing that.
So it's a massive game this weekend, despite what Football Manager thinks. So let's just do a quick recap. So Leicester Liverpool, Football Manager thinks Liverpool will win 2-0. You've gone with a big Liverpool win, 3-0.
Yeah.
And I've gone 2-1 Leicester. Brighton Villa was 1-1 Football Manager. You went with a Villa
2-0.
We both went with a Villa win. I think you said 2-0. I said 2-1. Palace Burnley, you went 1-0 Burnley. I've gone a 1-1 draw. Football Manager was 1-0 Burnley. Thanks to literally the only highlight of the game in that one. And then lastly, City Spurs, 1-0 City on Football Manager. Whereas we both agree, probably big wins for City. I don't think 4. I think 4 is...
I think 4, maybe even more.
I think
I'm going to... If the City
Spurs will score, I think they'll break the... Even though in this 14-game run, City have only conceded twice, I back Spurs to score. I'm going to go 3-1.
A lot of Spurs fan channels have been saying if Mourinho has lost the dressing room, he relies on those players giving everything to that system, to defending their hearts out and then running when they've got the ball. If he's lost the dressing room, they're not going to want to do that for him. So it's going to be half-assed defending, half-assed counters. They're just going to make it look like they're doing a lot of work when they're not.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a very good point.
And City at the minute are mentality demons.
Yeah,
they're just destroying everything in the way. So that's why I genuinely believe City will go there, win big, because he's got one team that's struggling mentally and another team that can't be beaten mentally at the minute.
I just think with the Kane and Son combination, because Kane has still got a lot of goals. He's still up there in terms of the top league scorers.
Even though he's mostly number 10 for Mourinho.
Yeah. Well, this is it. He's got 10 league goals this season. and 14 assists in all comps, which
it's mad when you think about it.
Is phenomenal, yeah. So I do think that although it's become a bit of a one-trick thing, it's their out ball, isn't it? It's their only way to get the ball forward is to get it to either Son or Kane. I do think it's going to be a little much for the City defence, despite how good Ruben Diaz and even John Stones.
John Stones is a different animal this season.
Yeah,
I don't know what Pep Guardiola has done to him. I think he's given the Raheem Sterling treatment, where he's like focused a lot of attention on just him. Like Sterling was absolute trash when he first went to City. Pep Guardiola came in, cradled his nutbag a little bit, and all of a sudden starts playing like Lionel Messi in his prime.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I would never.
No, neither would I. Even though I just did, but it was half-assed.
Much like you think Spurs' performance will be on Saturday. There we go. There's a good little link to finish up.
Hey.
That's the final whistle. That's all we've got time for today. We've got our predictions in. Beat the Press FM with your opinions as well. What you think the results will be on Saturday, and comment on the YouTube channel as well.
Follow all our social medias, which will be in the description. Please
and follow all the socials, which will be in the description. Yes,
I'll send you nudes if you with an hour of this video being posted. If you follow me, I'll send you a nude. So there's that incentive.
Good. Do you know what? I'm not going to cut that. I'm going to leave that in there.
Do it.
If you are listening on the podcast, unfortunately, you have missed out on all the amazing visual stuff from the Football Manager simulations. So go and check that out on the YouTube channel right now, because this is finished. So why are you still here? Leave.
Get fucked. Get fucked, you little bitch.
I'm probably going to cut that bit out. Right. So we'll be back again next weekend. We've got Chris Leeworthy, a.k.a. Alf, on as our Football Manager of the Week, off of Britain's Got Talent fame you may have heard of. He'll be talking through his Football Manager save, and we'll be going through all of Saturday's games next weekend as well.
Do you know what's mental? The amount of comedians that play Football Manager is like...
Especially in the last year.
I don't know if it's like a correlation between like hating your life and playing Football Manager.
I mean, I didn't realise that was where you were going to go with that. I've got to be honest. Do you remember how I wanted to combine a sort of a comedy podcast with Football Manager chat? Do you remember that idea that I had?
Yeah.
Thank you for completely ruining the mood. Right. So thank you very much for listening to the podcast. Thank you very much for watching on the YouTube channel. We'll see you again next weekend. Cool. There it is. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Love you. Bye.
Hashtag beat the press. Good.